Hello once again, FantasyDaddy.com viewers. James Bowe, Bowe, Fertig, and today we are talking tight end sleepers in the 2013 season. We'll get straight into the countdown, and at number 8, out of Baltimore, Ed Dickson.
Ed Dickson. I'm looking for Ed Dickson to have a pretty good year this year, just kind of depending on his health. He has a slight tear in his hamstring, which it's kind of tough for Baltimore because Dennis Pitta went down, and now we have Ed Dickson out there. He actually had in 2011 54 receptions. I look for him to return to that this year, just kind of depending on if he is healthy.
With a good running game, it should leave the middle of the field open, and you have Torrey Smith on the outside. He should have a good season this year.
Like the targets too,
right.
So we'll see.
At number 7, we have a tight end tandem in Indianapolis, but we'll talk about Dwayne Allen right now as our number 7 sleeper. Over under 50 receptions. What do you think?
I think he's going to get the over here. Kobe Fleener last year was looking to be that number 1 tight end for them, but Dwayne Allen kind of just went over that. He actually had 45 receptions last season compared to 26 with Kobe Fleener. You know Andrew Luck's going to throw the ball.
Right.
I think he's going to have a pretty big year. I say over 50 receptions, around 600-700 yards. I like that Indy team. You're going to be throwing the ball.
Our number 6 sleeper, Martellus Bennett, who went from the Giants and now plays for a Chicago Bear team.
Martellus Bennett actually with the Giants last season started off the season pretty hot. He actually had 3 touchdowns in his first 3 games. With Chicago, they're going to throw the rock a lot. Mark Trestman, new offensive coordinator over there. He was back with Steve Young and Rich Gannon when the Raiders went to the Super Bowl in 2002. I really like this guy. He's an athletic beast. He could block. And one of the part of things I kind of have a concern with him is Chicago Bears, one of the worst offensive lines in football.
That is true.
So that might leave him back to block a little bit more. Jay Cutler is going to have a lot more attempts this season. I'd say over 100 more attempts than he's had over the past 3 seasons. I like Martellus Bennett.
Bennett had career highs last year, 55 receptions, 625 receiving yards, along with 5 touchdowns. Moving down to the countdown, at our number 5 sleeper, we have him at our number 5 sleeper because he is the 36th ranked tight end right now, and that is Kellen Winslow out of the New York Jets.
I'm a beast. I'm a warrior. Kellen Winslow. He's going to have a big season this year. I like him. You want to know why? New York Jets, what do? They check down to the tight end all the time. Mark Sanchez, Geno Smith, I don't care who your quarterback is. They're going to get him the ball. In 2007 and 2006, when he started with Cleveland, he had over 80 receptions and actually had over 1,000 yards in 08. His touchdowns have never really surpassed 5 touchdowns. I think with the Jets this season, he can get over that cusp because they like to throw him into the end zone. They really have they lost Sean Green. They kind of need that short-term game.
No goal line back. They have Chris Ivory, not considered a goal line back. No real legitimate number 1 or number 2 receiver. Keller should get a lot of looks this year, and targets is a big thing for tight ends. And when you get targets, you're going to creep yourself up in that sleeper list, no doubt about it. Our number 4 sleeper, Jake Ballard.
Jake Ballard, what? New York Jets, New York Giants, I should say, last season had a big year. Eli Manning likes to toss a rock, but guess who likes to toss the rock a little bit more? Tom Brady. Tom Brady's going to get him the ball. We all know that they're kind of lacking depth in tight end because Rob Gronkowski being out. I look for Jake Ballard to have a pretty good season this year. And you got to also look at targets. Who you're throwing the ball to. Danny Amendola will probably be the number 1 target, but I think right behind that is Jake Ballard. And I look for him to have a big season, possibly over double-digit tight ends, kind of depending on Gronk's health.
You said Danny Amendola. He's on the Chargers now. Oh no, Danny Amendola is. What am I thinking? I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking Danny Woodhead.
You can put your head right here, Bo. Take a nap.
No, Patriots love running a 2 tight end set. They're going to see a lot of that again this year. Jake Ballard should have a good year in 2013. Our number 3 sleeper tight end out of Washington, Fred Davis.
Fred Davis. The reason why I think this guy's going to have a big season is his quarterback. The Washington Redskins led the NFL in rushing. I think they were actually 2 or 3 behind the New England Patriots.
Oh, they were 1. They
were 1.
Averaged 169 yards per game.
Thanks to the rook Alfred Morris, but that's exactly why his production is going to be high.
Right.
What is this? Play action. Let's go back. Let's go on a little play action. Fred Davis, RG3, they're going to be connecting all season. I really like Fred Davis. Fred Davis has shown before that he could do it, even without RG3 as his quarterback. So I think just having that, RG3 is just going to make his number.
Davis has the athleticism to stay with RG3. We saw in a preseason game yesterday, Fred Davis, play action inside the 5-yard line, creeping himself the back of the end zone wide open for a touchdown. I think we're going to see a lot of that this year in 2013. Our number 2 sleeper, Going to St. Louis, and I think one of the best tight end secrets around, Jared Cook.
Jared Cook, 4.49 speed at 6'6", 250 pounds. This guy is an animal. You think guys like Vernon Davis, he's that type of player. I really think that he's going to have a big season this year. He's got also Sam Bradford throwing him the ball. And you got two of the guys on the outside, two pretty quick receivers. Tavon Austin, who's a rookie, and Givens over on the other side, who had a big game yesterday with 83 yards, 3 or 4 receptions with a touchdown. They're going to clear it out for him, and I expect him to have a real big year in St. Louis.
He's one of the best kept secrets. Career high numbers, 49 receptions, 759 yards, 4 touchdowns. Those aren't really big numbers. Do you see him eclipsing that this year?
I see him being around that. Okay. I think St. Louis's offense is still going to struggle. I think they have a lack of a run game this season, which kind of, in a way, could help him a little bit, especially in those short yardage games in the red zone. Sam Bradford, I look for him to have a breakout year, so I say he'd be around his career highs.
Yeah, and you had mentioned 2 receivers on the outside, really stretching the field, and that's going to open things up in the middle for the tight end. And our number 1 sleeper in 2013, none other than Aaron Hernandez.
Not.
Aaron Hernandez will do a lot of sleeping behind bars this year, but actually our number 1 sleeper from San Diego, Hall of Fame tight end, Antonio Gates.
And the reason why we have Antonio Gates here is because he didn't really have that great of a season last season. His production is going down, but with the San Diego Chargers, they have a whole new system. You got Mike McCoy as the head coach and Kevin Wisenhunt. They're going to look for him to get the ball. You saw in Denver, they run a lot of 2 tight end sets with McCoy when he was there. Right. And that's exactly what happened. In the first drive against the San Diego Chargers in the Seahawks game, they ran that. There's going to be a lot of crossing patterns within the tight ends. That's going to get Antonio Gates open. And another thing is, Antonio Gates catches touchdowns. There's not too many tight ends that are going to get over 80 catches or 90 catches, maybe 1 or 2 in the league. So that's why you're looking more at touchdowns for a tight end. That's what you're searching for. And Antonio Gates is going to provide that for your fantasy team this year.
Last 9 seasons, 7 or more touchdowns, and no other tight end in the league has done that. He averages around 8 touchdowns a season in 10 seasons, 80 receptions, about 800 yards. That's a solid season for a guy going around your 10th or 11th pick. And that will do it for tight end sleepers. Make sure to check out our other videos and articles on fantasydaddy.com. James Bowe, Bowe Fertig. We'll catch you guys next time.
I'm a warrior. I'm a beast.
Yeah.